Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to check out the Aegis Boost by Geek Vape. This is a pod mod and the newest Aegis device that is IP67, waterproof, shockproof, dustproof. Let's go ahead and dive into it. I just got sample packaging here, so disregard. Inside, you will have your device, a second coil head, micro USB cable, a second drip tip, and then a tool to take your coils out. Now, I'm sure you'll get a manual and some paperwork and all that stuff, but I did not get that. So here is your device. Looks like a tiny little Aegis, right? This thing has a built-in 1500 milliamp hour battery. You get the zinc alloy frame, the leather section right here, and then the rubberized coating around here. Your controls right there. Nothing on the bottom. Looks like you do have venting right there on both sides, and then there's a little membrane underneath that to keep it waterproof. Charge port is right here. This does have 1.5 amp charging. It says Aegis right there. Geek Vape on that side, and we'll get into these controls here in a bit. Now, up top, you do have this little cover that covers your drip tip, and then you have one of two tips. This one's more of a flatter style, okay? It is not a 510, even though it looks like it might work. The second tip you get is this round one that's more like a conventional 510 type of feel, and these just slip right over the top like so. Now to get your pod out, you want to push this right here and that opens on up. There's what the inside looks like. You got some contacts, and let's go ahead and peel this off. And with these coil heads, you may or may not need the little tool. When it's dry like this, you're probably going to need it, but once it's wet, they're easier to get out. So you basically just want to pry this guy up like so, pull it on out. Now this first coil is a 0.4 ohm Kanthal mesh vertical coil. It's kind of that netting style mesh. And the second is a 0.6 ohm Kanthal mesh. Their ratings right there. This one's 15 to 25 watts. Also a netting. The 0.6 ohm looks like it has a little bit smaller inner diameter as well. We're going to install this one. As you can see, the airflow gets in right there above that O-ring from the side. And then airflow comes in right here, travels into a chamber, and then into your coil. Okay, so you got top side airflow right there. So it is pretty leak resistant. And with that airflow adjustment, you got some texture right there. You can then open and close your airflow. So I'm going to put a couple drops of liquid inside this coil, the 0.6 ohm, and then we'll push this guy on in. Needs to be like that. There we go. And then right here is your fill port. Open it up. Pretty large size hole inside there. Haven't had any issues. Pods, however, are fairly dark, so in some lighting, it's kind of hard to see your liquid level. 3.7 ml capacity. You might have to do a little tilty action when you go to fill these up. I just got a little bit of liquid there up top. Let's push this plug down in. I'm gonna wipe that off. Then when reinstalling, you put it in like so, till it clicks. 5 clicks to turn it on. And there is your home screen. This one has a low battery, so I'm going to have to charge it before I vape it. You got a puff counter right there, battery bars right there, wattage, and then your ohm load. Your controls are right here. And this does go up in 0.5 watt increments all the way to 40 watts, all the way down to 5 watts. Now, it looks like I had 1 bar show up there. Now, to lock these controls down here, it's up and down. Now it's locked. You can still fire it. That just locks these controls. And then to reset that puff counter, it's fire button and the down button. And that will reset the puff counter. If you want to turn it off, 5 clicks. Now, I don't have it, but you are going to be able to purchase separately a rebuildable section for this. It's an RDTA rebuildable section, so that's quite nice as well if that's what you're into. Now, as far as other pod mods, here it is next to the Voopoo Vinci. The Voopoo feels a little bit heavier than this, but this is a little bit larger because of the shape. And obviously this is IP67, so the Aegis line is always a little bit bigger. And here it is next to the smok RPM. This is going to come in a few other colors as well. I just got a couple of these, like gunmetal and black with yellow stitching on them. But, you know, the Aegis line usually comes in, what, 3, 4, 5 different colors. All right, guys, let's go ahead, go up top, vape this, and talk about it a little more. All right, here's the Aegis Boost. This one has the 0.4 ohm coil inside, reading 0.41, 33 watts. Airflow is wide open. Let's vape it. Kind of a medium restricted long hit off of the 0.4 ohm coil. Flavor's really, really good. Good at that 30, 35 watt range. This one has the 0.6 ohm coil. I have it at 30 watts. Airflow is wide open on that. Here we go. Still a restricted long hit, but a little bit tighter. Let's go ahead and talk pros and cons with this. Cons first. First off, kind of a missed opportunity that you can't use 510 drip tips inside there. I know some people would have liked to be able to do that, but that opening is just a little small for 510s. They do not fit. I tried it. Also, a little bit hard to see your liquid level in some lighting. The pods are pretty dark. Would have been nice if those were a little bit lighter, but you know, obviously you don't want them too light. It would make the thing look a little funky if it was just clear, but I did find that I struggled sometimes with filling this thing up. Also, while talking about filling, I like the top fill, but it can be a little messy. You gotta angle it like this, I found. If you just try to fill straight up, once your liquid gets to a certain point, it'll start overflowing over on this side. So you gotta fill it up at an angle like that. Only other kind of wish list thing I would love to see is some true MTL coils. Neither of these are that. Yes, you can shut the airflow down and kind of get an MTL, but at that point, you're losing a lot of air pressure, and both of the coils are really made more so for restricted lungs. So it would be nice if they came out with a tight, smaller diameter mouth-to-lung coil for this. As far as pros go, no issue at all with the vape quality or flavor off of this thing. Your mouth is pretty damn close to where these coil heads are as well.